Hello, welcome to STH English. Well, a lot of English is floating around now. This is an English, however, that is going to set the tone for what will happen on Pakistan's northwestern border. First, English statement that has come out of Pakistan after the collapse of the last-ditch effort to save and salvage some sort of a peace agreement with the Taliban in Istanbul collapsed, and then Khwaja Asif tweeted this. It's a long tweet, but the summary form of this long tweet is in bullet form as follows. Number one, Pakistan had the real intention of striking a peace deal. Number two, Pakistan went out of its way in order to engage the Taliban. Number three, Pakistan was willing to show flexibility and accommodation. Number four, Taliban scuttled it. Number five, a group within Taliban actually was responsible for dragging the talks down. Number six, if the Taliban think that Pakistan is going to become another victim of Afghanistan's irresistible defiance, then you are sadly mistaken. Number seven, Pakistan is not an empire, so therefore the title of Afghanistan being a graveyard of empires doesn't really excite Pakistan. However, as Khwaja Asif said, we don't know about the graveyard of empires, but it certainly is a graveyard of its own people. Number seven, if you move an inch towards Pakistan, you will get a mile's response. Number eight, if you threaten Islamabad, the response is going to be devastating and it will cause your own doom. Doom is the word on which Khwaja Asif closes his tweet. The other English-driven statement has come out of unofficial quarters from Pakistan, but obviously reflecting a deep sense of betrayal by the Taliban. This is coming from the military side of it. It sets the tone of the talks. It talks about the great efforts made by Turkey, Qatar, and other mediators. It thanks them profusely. It talks about the Taliban playing double games with Pakistan ever since they assumed charge, and it mentions why Taliban are doing it. In fact, it mentions it in the opening a couple of lines, and let me read them out to you. Ever since the assumption of control in Kabul, Pakistan has repeatedly engaged with the Taliban regime regarding persistent cross-border terrorism, and it becomes very interesting from here, by Indian abetted Fitna al-Khawarij, that is TTP, and Indian proxy Fitna al-Hindustan, that is BLA. The Afghan Taliban regime have been asked time and again to fulfill their written commitments to Pakistan and to the international community in Doha Agreement. However, Pakistan's fervent efforts proved futile due to Afghan Taliban regime's unabated support to anti-Pakistan terrorists. So that tells you how Pakistan now sees the problem. It is not just a group within the Taliban, as pointed out by Khwaja Asif in his tweet, that is part of the problem or cause of the problem. It is the entire structure of the Taliban regime that is responsible for this, and it is doing it at the behest of the Indians, which want to stretch Pakistan from one end of the border to the other, involving Balochistan and KP. It also talks about the great efforts made by Turkey and Qatar, and obviously it feels obliged that they provided the forum and the facilitation, but that came to nothing. The last para of the statement that has come out of the unofficial security establishment quarters is very important, and it kind of reinforces what Khwaja Asif has said. Let me read the paragraph out to you. The security of its people is of paramount importance to Pakistan. We will continue to take all possible measures necessary to protect our people from the menace of terrorism and assure them that the government of Pakistan will continue to employ all the resources which are required in this regard to decimate the terrorists, their sanctuaries, their abettors, and supporters. The last line actually says it all, and that's exactly what Khwaja Asif is talking about when he says that do not test our resolve. If you test our resolve and our capability, you will do it at your own peril and you will face doom. That's where things stand. Pretty doomsday scenario, honestly. The border is still shut. Taliban continue to play their games. I honestly do not know what the long-term agenda is, but the short-term agenda seems to be to keep the border area volatile, keep it vulnerable to infiltration, keep it vulnerable to smuggling. And I might sound contradictory when I tell you this, that war situation, a conflict situation, and smuggling actually go hand in hand. The more volatile the border becomes, the more the forces are concentrated in areas where the threat is coming from, the more vulnerable the rest of the border becomes for smuggling and what you may have. And smuggling is not done through vehicles only. It is done through the oldest possible means of transportation, that is the donkeys. So the donkey army moves across the border and is the preferred four-legged transportation for smuggled goods. So Taliban want to take advantage of what is known as the conflict of the war economy. Taliban want to keep the border volatile. And frankly, if they become the perpetrators and creators of chaos, they can market it. Look, they are marketing their own ability to create chaos to the Indians. What if they start to market the same ability to the Americans and say that, we can create chaos, we have these groups, we can divert them towards Russia, we can divert them towards the Chinese. What if they start to market it to the Israelis that, look, you may not want to strike the Iranians, we can have a deal with you and we can infiltrate people inside Iran and create problems for them. So chaos and capability to create mayhem essentially is a product of an industry. And the owners of the industry happen to be Taliban, and they make tons of money out of it. Dangerous game, but won't be the first time Taliban will be selling themselves to the highest bidder. This time around, however, whatever they are bidding, that is, and betting, that Pakistan's response will not be, teaching them a lesson. That bet is going to be proven wrong, and they will lose that bet. Pakistan intent is very clear. Pakistan's capability is proven, and Pakistan has already created space for striking inside Afghanistan. So let's see how things play themselves out. For now, however, it is back to where it all started. Before Doha Agreement was signed, the border was volatile, the guns were out, and if terrorists were to move into Pakistan like they did previously, the response will not be dissimilar.